Hello.
Hey.
So how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh my goodness. I've gone through a lot. Can you just briefly introduce yourself to everyone? Because I mean, not a lot of us know you. So just briefly
Hi,
introduce yourself,
everyone.
your name, what you do, where you work. I mean, your just a brief introduction, basically.
Okay, thanks. My name is Ufomba Chibike Charles. I am from Abia State.
Ufomba, you said.
Ufomba Chibike Charles.
Is that an Hebrew name?
Yeah, I'm from
Ah,
Abia State.
okay. Yeah, carry
So,
on.
I'm a nurse. I finished from Ebonyi State University in 2011, and and I practiced in Nigeria for 4 years, 2011 to 2015. I left Nigeria in 2015.
Wow.
My first point of stop was Qatar. Actually, the US was in my mind the time I left Nigeria, but I mean, I didn't have the finance to push it, so I said, let
Oh,
me
bless
make a
you.
stopover in Qatar. So I stopped in Qatar. I practiced there, took the registration exam, became a nurse, and I practiced for 6 years in Qatar. Practiced in Qatar from 2015 until earlier this year. I then moved to the US, and currently holding the same position, registered nurse in Cape Fear Valley Hospital. That's in Fayetteville, North Carolina. It's the biggest hospital in this place, and we
Mm,
do, yeah,
a
we do
big
quite a lot.
one.
Yeah, and
Uh,
our, my unit is long-term acute unit, and I am a night shift nurse.
mm, brilliant. That was nice, quite informative. Thank you. So I was
Welcome.
practiced in Qatar.
Uh, Qatar is a small country and just a population of 3 million. Out of the 3 million, like 2.3 million is immigrants. The citizens are just like 700,000. Practice is okay. The only downside is that they never give you the citizenship. So you just, leave, work, and go back to where you
All
came
right.
from. Yeah.
So how did you go about the migration pathway to the United States? How was it for you, right from Qatar? How did you go about it? So I'm
Uh,
interested. So this is it. I'm interested in how you migrated from Nigeria to Qatar, yeah, and then how you then did it to end up in the United States. Some people are interested in relocating from the United Kingdom. Yeah, so I feel I think it's not so different. Yeah, but I'm interested in knowing how you went about the migration right from Nigeria to Qatar and then landed yourself in the United States. How did you go about that? What were the requirements? How did you hear about it first? And then how did you start? I just want it to be practical so people can understand and see that it's not as bad as they feel it is. So I want us to be really practical.
okay, thanks. The good thing about the US RM pathway is that it doesn't matter where you are processing from, so long as you are outside of the US. Like if you're outside of the US, they rate everyone the same. It doesn't matter where you are processing from, the process is the same. In fact, if you are a registered nurse somewhere else in addition to Nigeria that is not US, I will say it complicates the process
Good.
because then that is additional work for you. Because anywhere you are registered, if you're a registered nurse in 20 countries, you are going to verify 20 licenses.
Hmm.
If you're a registered nurse in 5 countries, you're going to verify 5 licenses.
And
I
that's
am
more
already
money for you.
more money for you, more stress, more headache.
I think it's when you're dealing with countries like Nigeria, then you might have a headache.
So the people in Nigeria, this is a good news. So if you're just a registered nurse in Nigeria, it makes it simpler for you. Okay, so
Okay,
but the process is the I'm same. Going to divide the process into three. Okay,
good.
pre-NCLEX, that is before the NCLEX, then the NCLEX, and then post-NCLEX. So many
Okay.
people try to explain it from different angle, but I want to, take it from these three aspects so that we
Which
can
I
try
love.
to.
I think that's quite nice.
Yeah. So pre-NCLEX, in summary, before I go into details, what you actually do is verification of documents and seeking approval to write NCLEX. So what it means is, for you in Nigeria, working in Lagos or in Ibadan or in East, not anywhere you're working in Nigeria, the first thing you are going to do is, and also before I start, in this process, be ready to seek for information. Be ready to use your phone and browse Google. Seek for information. I'm going to give as much information as I can, but you need to learn how to get information also by yourself, because this process requires a lot of information. And at each stage that you are confused, reach out to someone who by way or by one way or the other, has passed through the process. They can guide you, even in the applications. Okay, so
Okay.
the first thing you're going to do is open Google, look at US map as a country. Select a state that you want to, because nursing in US is not like nursing in Nigeria, where with one license you can practice anywhere in Nigeria. In the US, each state is different.
All right.
Their rules are different. Their license is different. Each state is independent of another state. Okay? But now, even as of 2021, we have compact states where a group of states came together and said, okay, if you have license from any of these states, you can practice. There are about 40 states. But some states also are not part of compact. They want you to have their license. So why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the first step of becoming a USRN is for you to select a state where you are going to register from, first of all, point of entry. Okay, so as along this discussion, where necessary, I'm going to use myself as an example. All right, I use Texas. Now, I will tell you criteria for choosing a state. Okay, the reason for this is because you can't choose actually any state you want, because some states require you to have social security number for you to be able to register as a nurse.
And what's that? What's social security number?
Social security number is like name in Nigeria. It's like national identification number in Nigeria.
Okay.
So you have to be resident here, legally resident, to have a social security number. So if you're outside of the US, like you haven't been to US at all, you don't have social security number. So some states will require you to have social security number to be able to apply as a registered nurse. So you have to avoid those states because you don't have social security number.
Okay.
So these states I'm going to call for you, they do not require you to have social security number. So if you want to select a state, choose from any of these.
Okay, yeah, here. You're writing it.
I'm going to call for you 10 states. So your initial application will have to be from one of these states because they don't require you to have a social security. So the first one is Texas.
Texas, okay.
Second one is New York.
New York.
The third one is Minnesota.
Minnesota.
The fourth one is West Virginia.
West Virginia.
The next one is Idaho.
I don't know that. Idaho.
Idaho. Idaho.
Oh, Idaho. Okay.
Next one is Washington.
Washington.
Ohio. Colorado. Illinois. And then Montana.
Is that up to 10 already? 1, 2,
Huh?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Wow.
Yeah. So you choose from any of these states for your initial application. So when you make up your mind to choose any state, the first thing you will do is go to their website. Read. Take time. Take like one day. Read instructions in their website. Some states will tell you, click this link if you want to apply from international. Like if you're applying from outside of the US, they have different link for you. If you're applying from within US, they have a different link for you. But some states will have only one link, so long as you want to be apply for registered nurse. Now be careful, because do not confuse registered nurse application with LPN application. LPN is licensed practical nurse. So it's also a thing here. People do that duty. It's a thing here. So do not confuse, because if you apply for LPN, that's the license you are going to get. And LPN is lower than RN.
Okay.
So you just look out for RN. They also have PM application. The application I'm looking out for is RN. Because that's what you are, registered nurse.
Good.
So when you go look at the State Board of Nursing that you have chosen, go to their website, read information, and then see the link to apply to be a registered nurse. Now, some of these processes I'm going to discuss, there are some steps you are going to do concurrently. Like, before we go to the CGFNS, as you are doing the CGFNS, you are doing the State Board the same time.
Before we carry on, maybe from your own experience or what your colleagues have told you, and of course you've got colleagues that you did all of this together. Which of these states do you think is the best for nurses? I mean, the easiest for nurses coming from Nigeria, or do you think there's no special one?
No special one. The only thing is just avoid any states that requires social security number. That's it. I use Texas. I will always advise people to use Texas because I use it and it worked for me. I know people who use New York. I know people who use West Virginia. Okay. Those who use West Virginia say it's easier, less stressful. Those, the one you use, you tend to say it's easier. So, but the key thing is avoid any states that requires social security number.
Good. Let's carry on. Okay.
So some of these steps, you need to do it concurrently. Like once you apply to the state board, okay, let's say you choose Texas, you go to Texas Board of Nursing. You click their website, you open it, you see application for registered nurses. Okay.
Texas Board of Nursing.
Yeah, if you're using Texas. If you're using New York, you go to New York Board of Nursing. If you're using Ohio Board of Nursing, Colorado Board of Nursing, just the state and Board of Nursing will bring out the website for you. Okay. If you have problem reading, there is phone number. Each state has their phone number. You call them. Okay. The only thing is going to take is airtime, but they will pick up the call and talk to you. They will explain the process to you if you want that. Good. You can also send them email. They will send you attachments on how to do it. So once you register with the State Board of Nursing, they are going to ask you to create an account. Everything abroad is creating an account. You create an account, create a profile, put your information, your first name, last name, date of birth, all those things. Once you create a profile, from your profile you can apply to be a registered nurse in that state. Once you apply, you are going to fill a form.
Someone said it's now Texas Nurse Portal. Whatever. Just go to the portal.
Even if you click Texas Board of Nursing, it's also going to send you a link to the Texas portal. Yeah, they changed it sometime last year. Okay. They are still using Texas Board of Nursing. Once you click it, it will also show you a link.
It will definitely redirect you.
Yeah, very good. So once you create your account with any State Board of Nursing that you have chosen, and then you put on your information, it's going to tell you, okay, fill up this form, registered nurse application form. They will ask you a lot of questions about your biodata, academic background, when you graduated, those things. They will ask you all those questions. You fill them correctly. Do not make any mistake. This is the reason why some people run into troubles. This is the reason why sometimes your process takes longer than it should. Do not make mistakes in any of these things.
So you have to really take your time.
Take your time. Check the spellings of the answers that you give. Okay? If you make mistake in your last name spelling, it can be another person's name. Then you are going to pass through the process of proving to somebody else that is you. And the only way to prove that is by submitting documents. So do not make mistakes. So once you complete that form and submit, they will ask you to pay application fee. Then it depends on the state. You can make some payments online using credit card or debit card. But some states, like Texas, as of then, will require you to mail a money check for them. Okay. As of then, they do not take credit cards payment. They just want you to mail the money check. So
I have a question. Sorry to cut you. Where does CGFNS come in?
after this stage we're talking about. Actually, I will explain this stage, explain CGFNS, but in reality, you're going to do two of them concurrently. But I will tell you where CGFNS comes in exactly. Once you complete this registered nurse application and submit and pay application fee, they are going to open a little dashboard for you, telling you about 5 steps you need to complete to be a registered nurse. The first step they will tell.
I'm sorry to cut you. How many years of experience do you need before you even start all of this process?
Okay, if you're in the US,
I mean, if you're coming from Nigeria and you want to apply.
Coming from Nigeria.
How many years? Does it matter?
2 years experience is okay. 1 year experience is okay.
So 1 to 2 years of experience you need.
Yeah, actually, the state board does not require you to have experience. The only people who require you to have experience
is your worker.
Is the job you are going for.
Okay.
Even if you're a fresh graduate, state board doesn't care. All right, they don't. Experience doesn't matter with the state board.
Okay.
Because I mean, new graduates should have a license to have experience. So once you complete the application, submit and pay your money, application fee, they'll open up a little dashboard for you, telling you about 5 steps to complete for you to be issued registered nurse license. Now, the first step they'll ask you to submit, they'll issue you a form. They'll issue you a form telling you to complete this form and send it to your school of nursing and then Nursing Council Abuja. They want Nursing Council Abuja to send in your document, your license and all that. They also want your school of nursing to send in your transcript and your certificate to them. Some states, but some states might not require that. The state I use required that.
Is it the same thing as the one you're giving to CGFNS? So you have to send another one again?
Very good. That's the same one you are sending. They will also send to CGFNS. So actually, in reality, Texas Board will receive documents from your School of Nursing and from Nursing Council. Then they will also receive the same documents from CGFNS. What CGFNS does is, the board does not have time to sit down, and because you are internationally trained nurse, you didn't school in US. So what CGFNS does is to take your local certificate from Nigeria, analyze it, and compare it to US standard. That's just what they do.
Now, my whole question is, will you have to do the same thing if you, for instance, if you started with CGFNS, yeah? I mean, if you started with CGFNS,
the reason why we are doing CGFNS is because it is in that small dashboard I'm telling you, the state board will tell you, we need CES report from CGFNS. That is where CGFNS comes in.
Okay, so you don't have to request verification again from your school or from your
license. It depends on the state. Some states will not want you to verify into them. In addition to CGFNS, they will just want CES report from CGFNS is enough. But Texas would also want you to get your certificate from your school.
No, I'm not talking about certificate. I'm talking about the verification of license now.
CGFNS will do verification.
Okay, so certificate and the rest.
Okay, let me tell you something.
Okay.
When you are done with state board, the first thing they will list for you, once you pay your money, the first thing they will list for you is, they will tell you will do fingerprinting or security background check. They will tell you, if they have another exam for you, maybe ethics and nursing or whatever, they will tell you write that exam. They will tell you what else? They will tell you they need report from CGFNS. They will also tell you to submit your birth certificate and other things. So they will tell you about 4 or 5 things that you will do. Then the last one, they will tell you, get your license. So now, once you open your account with State Board and pay application fee, next thing is to go to CGFNS. Okay. Once you go to CGFNS, do the same thing. Open an account with CGFNS, online account. Now, CGFNS is a huge company that does several things. But what you are going for is CES. That's called Credential Evaluation Service. That's what you want.
What from CG? And what's CGFNS again? What's their name again? Certificate?
Commission for Foreign Graduate Nurses.
Something.
Yeah, Commission for Foreign Graduate Nurses. So
you will share a link later for CGFNS. I think it's www.
I can just give it now. Their website is www.cgfns.org.
I think it's www.cgfns.org.
Their phone number Their phone number is +1215.
They'll find that on their website.
Okay, yeah, everything you need. So when you go there, you create an account or your profile, then you select the service that you came for, which is CES. Once you select that service and make payment, I think payment is like $350. By the way, payment in the state board varies. Some is $100, some maybe less, some more. But I paid $100 during mine. Okay. So CGFNS is like 350 or thereabout, 250 or 350. I'm not sure.
I think it's about 368 now.
Okay, every information is in their website.
I'm not sure.
So select CES. They will give you a form. Complete the form. Submit and make your payment. Once you make your payment, again, while you are completing any form in CGFNS website, do not make mistakes. Okay, mistakes will result in delays. Too much delays. Okay, because many people are applying to them. Okay, so complete the form, create profile, complete form, apply for CES, make your payment. Once you make your payment, they are going to create a customized form for you, 2 forms, customized with your name and name of your school. Okay, so in these 2 forms, you will send one to your school of nursing or to your department of nursing, wherever you finish from. Then the other one, you send it to Nursing Council Abuja. So your school will receive this form from you.
That's if you studied in Nigeria.
If you studied in Nigeria, anywhere you studied, that's where you are sending the form. Okay, anywhere you are registered in whatever country.
Because I wanted to know that we're not just talking to Nigerian nurses.
Yeah, if you are registered in 4 countries, that is where it will come in. They will give you 4 forms. If you're registered in 10 countries, they will give you 10 forms. So each of those countries, you have to send 1 form to each of those countries. Okay. So let's assume that you are registered in Nigeria. 2 forms for you, 1 for your school, 1 for Nursing Council. Okay. So your school will verify in your transcript directly to CGFNS. They will return it to CGFNS. The instructions on how to return it is in the form. They address everything. Okay. The same thing with the one you will send to Nursing Council Abuja. So your school will verify in your transcript. Nursing Council will verify in your license. Once CGFNS receives it, they are going to alert you that they have received it. Yeah, they will allow it. You can also log in and check it online. Whatever document they receive, they will show you we have received this one. Then when they receive the document, they will tell you if it meets the requirements or not. If it doesn't meet the requirement, they are going to tell you, okay, this is the document we received. This is the problem with this document. You have to do it again.
Hey, whoa.
Yeah. So they call it meeting criteria. Okay. So when they receive your document, they will tell you if it's okay or not. If it's not okay, they will tell you the problem with the document and how to correct it. Okay. So let's assume your school sends in the document and Nursing Council sends in the document and everything is okay. Once they have received all your documents, they will tell you have received all your documents. We will now begin to evaluate your documents or your education.
I think they communicate quite well, but sometimes they have dangana in their head.
Yeah, they do communicate. You send them emails.
So, if you don't have a WIHEC certificate, what do you use? I think we're gonna take questions after this. I don't want to continue. Just carry on. I'll note those questions I'm saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So once they receive your documents, now it takes time for them to complete the evaluation. They will ask you if you're in a hurry, if you want us to evaluate your certificates quick enough, you have to pay extra money. Okay, but if you don't want it quick enough, you just relax and wait for the time they will finish. Now the time varies. Sometimes it can take 2 months, 3 months or more. But when I did apply, once they got all my documents, they asked me, do you want quick evaluation? I said yes. I paid extra money. I think extra $250 or something.
Okay.
So you pay extra money. When you pay extra money in less than a month, they will just evaluate it and send it to the Board of Nursing. When you are completing the form with CGFI, they will ask you where you want them to send your report to. So then you tell them, if you used Colorado, you tell them send it to Colorado Board of Nursing. So once they finish your evaluation, they will tell you your report is ready. They will also send you a copy of that report. If they don't send you, you can ask for it. They will give it to you. Then they will send the official one to the State Board of Nursing that you ask them to send it to. So when the State Board of Nursing receives it, they will also alert you that they have received your report from CGFNS. CGFNS will actually tell them, okay, this person schooled in Nigeria or in London or in whatever, this is the certificate they have. After evaluation, this is the equivalent of this certificate in America. That's just what they do.
Good.
Like when I did when I did my verification, some documents, example from Nigeria, don't have any equivalent in the US. They will tell you, like, I did psychiatric nursing also in Nigeria. So I use myself as an experiment. I verified that certificate to CGFNS. So when I got my report from CGFNS, they told me my certificate, psychiatric nursing, has no equivalent in America. Yeah. So it's just zero. Yeah, sad. So it's zero. So some certificates have no equivalent. Okay. So
I feel like it's just best to just verify your RN to make it easier for you. You can do any other thing later once you leave. The most important thing is to leave.
That's what the point I wanted to make. So you, like, in my license, I am registered nurse, registered midwife, and registered psychiatric nurse.
Because you got a BSc, right?
Yeah, I have BS, but I attended School of Psychiatry separately.
Okay.
So it's 3 licenses in one. Remember, they will give you 1 license, then behind they will say this person is also registered with us as a midwife, Nigerian license. So you do not have to verify everything in your license. Just verify the RN. That's okay.
Good. So let's move on. Oh, I wanted to keep you here for just about an hour, but look at us. We've not even started questions.
So once State Board of Nursing receive your documentation, everything from CGFNS, they will tell you, okay, yeah, we have received it. So if you have completed other requirements like your fingerprinting with the State Board of Nursing, every other thing with them, the fingerprinting, they will give you a form and tell you what to do. Just follow their instructions. So once they complete all those things, they will tell you, okay, we are ready. We are going to issue you ATT. ATT is like you have
attestation to take a test or something.
Yeah. ATT is like, it's like a permission to go and write NCLEX, permission to go and register NCLEX.
Okay.
Remember, in this discussion, we are still in pre-NCLEX.
Yeah, not pre-NCLEX we do.
So once they give you ATT, praise the Lord. Next thing is
hallelujah. I don't want you. Don't try this thing. Last one. Do not.
Okay. So once they give you the ATT, just celebrate. My quote, praise the Lord, is celebration. So just celebrate in your own terms and conditions. Be happy. It's an achievement. Okay? It's an achievement. Okay. Now, while you are doing all of these things, remember, from the time you started looking up your State Board of Nursing that you want to choose, start reading. Because by the time you will receive your ATT, you will not have the time to prepare for the exam. Because this exam, you need to prepare thoroughly. Okay? So from that day, you decided that, okay, I'm going to be a USRN. And you start looking up the state and start doing all the CGNFS things. Be reading concurrently. As you are running your application, be reading. Okay? So by the time you get your ATT, you are halfway ready. Because ATT has expiry date. Most of the ATT is just valid for 3 months.
Okay. How long can you hold your CES before you write NCLEX?
You don't hold the CES.
Does CES have an expiry date?
I don't think so. What has expiring date is by the time when you make payment with CGFNS, they give you a certain amount of time. I think 1 year to receive all your documents. So if they don't receive it, I think your account closes or something like that. But once your report is complete and the State Board receives it, you don't have to, be scared of that anymore. Okay. So once you get your ATT, you're going to get it in your email, and it comes with a link where you can register for NCLEX. But if it doesn't come with a link, where you can register for NCLEX is called Pearson VUE website. Okay.
Okay.
Pearson VUE is like.
So it comes with a. So your CES comes with a link to register for NCLEX. No, sorry, your ATT.
Yeah. Sorry. They will send you the ATT with directions on how. That's why I like these abroad people in quote. Whatever they give you, they tell you what to do next. Once you receive your ATT, instructions on what to do. Yeah, instructions on what to do next will be on the ATT, and with the link to register. So once you click that link, the person you already have. They also received a copy of your ATT. Okay. Once you click that link, they will give you another form to fill. Just complete the form, your name, everything. Okay. You make payment. You're going to pay like, I think $200 in Pearson VUE website. Okay. You pay that money, NCLEX registration fee. Once you pay that money, they will give you access to choose your exam date and exam venue. So you by yourself will choose when you will test and where you want to test. Okay. Good news for people in Africa, because now there is one center in Johannesburg. 2 years ago, 2019, there was no center in Africa. Okay, you have to, yeah. In 2020, they established one center in Johannesburg, so it's close to Nigeria at least. Okay, before you had to go to London, Philippines, India, in the whole of UAE area that exists, there is no testing center. I tested in Mumbai, India. Okay, some people go to Singapore.
You went to Mumbai?
Yeah, I went to Mumbai. I tested in Mumbai. And, some people go to Philippines, London. But I tell people, do not because you are desperate to travel and then choose, because some people say, I remember back then, some of my friends say, oh boy, let's just use this ATT to get visa to test for NCLEX. Even if we did not pass, we will remain there. I told them that's you. I'm not looking for where to remain. Okay, so just because of ATT and say okay, because when they give you ATT, you can apply to any country that has testing center. Okay, there are testing centers in the US, but don't use ATT while you are in Nigeria to apply for US visa. They're going to deny you. That you have ATT doesn't mean embassy must give you visa. The headache of visa to write NCLEX is on you. The State Board of Nursing will tell you that. CGFNS, everybody will tell you that. So you have to pass through the headache of getting visa to test for your NCLEX. So that you have ATT does not mean any country you apply to will give you visa. No way. If you go to US embassy to apply for visa to come to US and test for NCLEX, they will tell you other places, other options that you have. You don't
Okay,
have to
so
come
we
to
get
the
it.
US.
So yeah,
Okay.
so we get
So
it
you
test
should
center.
choose your center, choose your exam date,
And you write
prepare
NCLEX.
prepare for your NCLEX and go write NCLEX.
Good.
Talking about NCLEX now, so we are in the NCLEX stage. You choose your materials, you do your study, you prepare for your NCLEX, you write NCLEX, you pass NCLEX.
Beautiful.
NCLEX is a big exam. I don't know if our time will allow us to go into it a little bit.
Maybe next time we're gonna discuss NCLEX, but today we just want to
Okay.
know the pathway and pick up from somewhere.
Okay, so you source your materials and write your NCLEX, okay, and then you pass. Once you test the exam, the
Do you have a
result goes to-
suggestion of the NCLEX materials?
Yeah. I like 3 suggestions or 4
Okay, Minja.
or 5.
Okay.
For your content,
Hi.
for your content knowledge, you can
Okay.
use Sunday's edition, Sunday's latest edition. I think the latest is 8 or 9.
Okay.
I use Sunday's 7th edition. So Sunday's edition, you can use it for your content, basic content. Then for practice questions, you can use UWord.
Okay.
Then you can also use Rema Nurse and McClinmick.
McClinmick.
Yeah. This guy is a professor.
McClinmick.
Yeah, I think Klimek.
MC.
K as in kettle, Limek.
KLINEMEK.
EK. E for elephant.
Okay, so MC then Klimek.
Mark. MARK. Mark.
Okay. Yeah.
So this guy
Okay.
has yellow book, blue book, and audio. So just prepare thoroughly for your exam. Don't be nervous. You go to this website. I'll give you a website where you go read everything about NCLEX, what you should do before the exam, on the
Give
exam
us-
day, and after the exam.
Because we are in
You go
NCLEX
to-
space.
Yeah, you go to www.nsbon, right?
NSBON.
Yeah. Let me
That's
confirm
it?
the web. Yeah, .com, of course.
That is .org now, so it's possible. .com.
Let me confirm the website. So if you go to this website, you will read everything about
Me, I've
NCLEX.
sent it too. I hope it's okay. Find out. It's really important that you read about an exam. An exam you're gonna take. So yeah, I think that's actually the first step. The first step is to know about the exam, and then you pick up from there. We can confirm that later.
NCSBN, National Council of State
I'm
Board
coming.
of Nursing.
It's www.
Dot
NCSBN.
NCSBN.org.
So NCSBN.
.org.
You see, you can say .com, of course. You see waiting on course.
I'm sorry. So you go to that website, click NCLEX RN, they will give you every information, even list of materials you can use for the exam. Okay.
Great.
So once you test your NCLEX and you pass, the state board is going to receive your results directly from the testing center. Okay. And they will receive it like I believe it's that same day because as you are testing the exam, the computer is already, it's a computer adaptive test. So the result is available immediately. But the state board will only alert you, I think, 3 days after if you pass or not. If you pass,
Okay.
if you pass within 48 hours, they are going to issue your license for you. You will see your license, they issue it, you give you a link where you go to. Like they don't give plastic license like ours. But everything is just on the website. You go to website, type in your
Just like
information.
you were UK.
Yeah, your license will appear. So you don't need any plastic or anything.
So
Okay.
post class, right? Are we in
So
post
once your
class?
NCLEX is done, next thing is okay. I forgot to mention from the beginning. This pathway you can do it independently or through an agent or agency. Okay, you can do it independently or through an agency. So if you were doing it independently, this is the time to get an agency.
Okay.
But if you were running after NCLEX, is the time to get an agency. Okay, but from the beginning you can start with agency. I didn't start. Let me use myself once more as an example. At the beginning, I applied to an agency. I was rejected. Okay, and I decided to do it on my own until after NCLEX. Because these agencies, once they see that you haven't passed NCLEX, they'll be doing all sorts of.
Are we doing smile?
They'll be doing shakara for you and all that. Okay. So, but once you pass NCLEX, your chances of getting agency is higher, and they will come in after you. Okay. So I have a list of agencies that you can apply to at this time if you don't have, or you can even use from the beginning. So I have should I mention a few for you?
Yeah, of course.
So I have Kennedy Healthcare.
Kennedy?
Mm-hmm. Kennedy Healthcare. Mm-hmm. I have Avant Healthcare.
Okay.
I have OGP.
OGP.
Mm-hmm. O'Grady Patton. Just OGP.
Okay.
If you type it in Google, they will all appear with their website. I have MedPro International.
MedPro.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
MEDPRO.
Mm-hmm.
I have Professional Healthcare Resources.
Prof Healthcare.
Professional Healthcare Resources.
Okay.
I have Cross Country Nurses. Cross Country.
Country Nurses. Okay.
I have Wilson Staffing.
Wilson.
Mm-hmm. Wilson. I have Westway.
What about something Passport USA or something?
Passport USA, yeah. There are more than 40 agencies out there.
Which one did you call now after Wilson Staffing?
I called which one did I call? Westways.
Westways.
Yeah, Westways Staffing. There is also Global Nurses. There is also Shearwater. There is also Pacific Link Health.
Pacific Link.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So there are so many agencies. I will tell you a few criteria to work out for, or the questions you are going to ask before you sign up with any agency. Okay. Most of these things we didn't know. It's after we arrived and we started our contract that you discover some of these things. Okay. Now the questions you are going to ask. Yes, you are applying to an agency. Once they take you, they are going to make interview for you, ask you questions, your background, education. When you finish those interviews and you pass, they give you an offer. Before you sign the offer, please read it from first line to the last line.
High microscope.
Read that offer, cram it, ask questions. Any English terminology you do not understand, go and ask any barrister or lawyer. Make sure you understand everything.
It's true. Actually, it's not even a joking matter.
That contract will make you or destroy you in America.
It's pretty serious.
Yeah, what you watch out in the contract is watch out how many years you are going to work for these people.
Okay.
Why? Because they are going to give you offer that is less than, how will I say it? For instance, they might give you offer of $22 or $25 per hour.
What's the highest you can get?
I'm just giving an example. Okay, they can give you offer of $22 or $25 per hour as an international nurse. Then when you come in here, you see that some nurses that you are working with in the same unit are earning like $35, $40 per hour.
So you can bargain.
So by that time you can't bargain anymore. It's late for you. So all you can do is
you said it's late for you. That was funny.
Yeah, because you have already arrived in the US. I'm talking about when you arrive. So what the only hope for you will be finish your contract and just go. Okay. Now, some agencies will give you contract of 3 years. I heard some will even give you contract of 4 years. So you have to look out for agency that will give you a lesser contract, a contract of say 2 years or 2 years, 6 months. Okay. Then you have to also look at, they will ask you, they will tell you the states that they have hospitals. You also have to ask them. If they didn't tell you, ask them. You need to know which state you are going to work. So in most times, it's not going to be the state that you have the license. You might have your Texas license, but they want you to work in North Carolina. Like my license was originally Texas, but I am in North Carolina. So most times, most times, you have to, if you have a place in mind that you want to work, you let them know. If you want to work in Washington, let them know. If you want to work in New York, let them know. Okay. So once the state you have chosen is in compact states that share license, what they will do is once you come in, they will endorse your license to the other state that you want to work. Point is read the contract, understand it, ask them questions, ask them how long your contract is, ask them the working conditions, ask them if you break your contract, how much are you going to pay? Like for me, if I break my contract, I can pay up to $30,000. So you ask them this question. Some agencies, if you break the contract, you pay as low as 15,000, 10,000. So these are the things you put in the consideration and ask them. Let them tell you. Okay, before you agree and sign. So once you sign a contract, that is the official beginning of post-NCLEX. Okay. Now post-NCLEX is all about immigration. At this point, if you haven't written IELTS or English exam, this is when to write your English exam. Okay. And for you, one good thing about US process is that English requirement is not as high as the UK.
So what's that? What's the requirement?
You just need what do they call it? What is it? Overall 6.5, and then you need to make 7.0 in speaking.
And then the rest?
The rest 6.5 is okay. They just want you to make at least 6.5 overall and 7.0 in speaking.
All right.
Okay. Now the other important question you should ask your agency before you sign the contract is ask them, are you going to sign regular or premium for me? Because once you sign up with the agency, they are going to ask you for documents. They'll ask you to submit so many documents to them, birth certificate. They'll first of all ask you how many people want to come to the US with you. If it's you alone, you tell them it's you alone. If it's you and your husband and your kids, you tell
me
them.
Alone.
Okay, so once they ask you, if it's you alone, you submit all the documents that they ask for you. So when you submit that document, what they will do is they will take that document, combine it with their registration and everything, apply to US immigration. They're going to apply for you EB3, employment-based visa. That's what they are going to apply for you, employment-based visa. It simply means you are coming to US to work. And that's the only reason you're coming to the US. But good thing is, EB3 visas have a pathway to citizenship. Okay? If you use coming, because it's an immigrant visa, immigrant means you're coming to stay. They will give you a resident permit, green card. And if you have a green card, in 5 years, you're eligible to be a citizen. In fact, 4 years. So long as you do not.
So the EB3 will earn you a green card, which is a residency permit.
Yeah. And it's valid, a green card is valid for 10 years. After 10 years, you can renew it. Before 10 years, if you want to be a citizen, you just apply. So long as you meet other requirements like criminal requirements and those things, so long as your hands
so after 5 years of holding the
green card.
residency permit, which is a green card, you can apply to be a citizen.
Yeah, and they give you the US passport.
Okay.
There are lots of benefits with the green card. I mean, you stand chances of going to. I don't think there is any embassy on earth that will refuse you visa if you show your green card. By the time you have
the almighty United States.
By the time you have your citizen, of course, you know you can go to anywhere you want to go. Okay. So now your agency will take these documents from you, apply to US immigration. Their website is www.uscis.com. So
do you have to do that? Or the agency
no, your agency will do that. They will take your documents from you, birth certificate, everything, apply to US immigration for EB3 visa. That is what we call I-140 filing. They will file I-140 for
I-140 filing.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. Before you sign your contract, ask them, are they going to file for you premium or regular? Regular means once they submit your application to US immigration, US immigration can take 9 months, 10 months, 1 year or more to
Hey,
decide.
Chapna, regular or premium? So it's important to ask those questions.
Yeah, it's important to ask your agency when they want to file for you.
What's regular? Oh, when they want to file
yeah.
Okay.
So regular means when they submit your application, US immigration is not in a hurry to decide your case. They are not in a hurry to say we give you or we deny.
You have to be in a hurry.
So they will take like 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, 1 year.
That's ridiculous.
But if you file premium, they have to decide on your case within 1 month. So within 1 month, they will tell you approved or denied.
So it has to be within. What happens when it's more than 1 month?
So long as you file for premium, they will decide your case within 1 month. Because this is the catch. Regular, the application fee is lower. I think it's $500 or less. But premium, you have to pay like $2,000. So agencies don't want to spend too much money on you, especially if you signed up with them for the NCLEX. Remember, they've already done so many expenses on you. Your flight ticket to where you will write NCLEX, they have to pay. Your hotel, they have to pay. So if they have done many expenses on you already, they wouldn't want to file premium for you. Okay? That's one of the advantages of applying to agency after you pass NCLEX. They didn't do any expenses on you, so they will.
And that's why it's beautiful to really get this money. If you can source it from somewhere, source it.
Yeah.
If you're in UK, it's even easier because you're making the money.
So once the US immigration decides on your case, once they say case approved, okay, be happy. We have the hope of coming to the US.
I thought you were going to say.
Be happy, you have the hope of coming to the US. So if your case has been approved, yes, everything is okay, they want you to come. So what they will do is USCIS will transfer the file to another agency called National Visa Center. Okay, so it's a government agency. So they transfer the file to National Visa Center. The National Visa Center receives it, alerts you that they have received it. They will alert you and alert your agency. Whatever they tell you, they tell your agency. In some cases, they will tell your agency, they will not tell you. Okay. So once they receive your file from US immigration, they will alert your agency or alert you. Then your agency will pay another money. Sometimes they will ask you to pay it. If it's only you, I think it's like $350. If it's $350 per person. So if it's you and your children, you have to pay $350 each person. That's called I think fee bill or something. Okay.
And are they still gonna file premium for you for your family if you're coming with your family?
Whatever they file for you is all together with your family.
All right, good.
Yeah, it's one application. Okay. So once you pay that money to National Visa Center, they receive it, they will do few stuff on your file, then they will forward your file to the immigration of the country that you're applying from. If you're in Nigeria, they will forward your file to US Embassy Lagos. If you're in London, you are processing from London, they will forward your file to US Embassy London. Anywhere you are, for my file, they forwarded it to US Embassy Doha. Okay, so once the embassy receives your file, embassy will alert you, we have received your file from National Visa Center, US. This is your interview date. They will set an interview date for you.
Start sending your questions, guys. Sorry to cut you. If you've got any question, if on your right lower screen, on your is it right? Yeah, right lower screen, you see the third icon has the question mark. Use that to enter your question. If I do not see any question in that space, it means everything is clear. It means you do not have a question. Okay, so please use that icon. The question session is going to be for just about 15 minutes. So let's use it wisely. So if you've got a question, put it in now so I can start to have a look. Okay? All right, carry on.
So once the embassy receives your file from NBC, they will schedule an interview date for you. If it's you and your family, all of you will go there. If it's only you, just go there. So on your interview date, go there with confidence. They already have all your documents from NBC. So all you need to do, they will tell you the documents to come with. For me, I always tell people, go with everything, every document that you have owned from birth till now, just go with it. Academic documents, bio documents, any documents that you own. go with it. They will ask you to get, of course, your agency must have told you already, to get police clearance from all the countries that you have lived. For me, I got police clearance from Nigeria and from Qatar. So in how many countries that you have lived, that's how many countries you are going to get police clearance, because you are going to present it in the US Embassy. There is another certificate you will present. It's called Visa Screen Certificate. That is the certificate that you will get when you pass IELTS. When you pass IELTS, you will go back to CGFNS, submit your IELTS result to CGFNS. They will issue, then you pay another money, $500 or thereabout. They will issue you another certificate called Visa Screen Certificate. That certificate, embassy owns it. Embassy is going to ask you for that certificate.
I'm sorry, I'm lost.
Okay. Remember the time I said after you pass your NCLEX, it's time to write IELTS. But the reason why you are writing that IELTS is for CGFNS to be able to issue you a certificate called Visa Screen Certificate.
Okay.
Once you pass your English exam, you have to go back to CGFNS website. Okay. Submit that English result. Actually, the testing center, if you use British Council Lagos, for example, the testing center will have to submit your result to CGFNS. But sometimes they submit it and it doesn't go through. So you have to follow up. Ask CGFNS, have you received my result? If they haven't, they will tell you what to do. Once they receive your result, you have to launch out a second application with CGFNS. This time, it is no longer CES. This time, it's called Visa Screen Application.
Okay.
You apply for it and pay the money. After like 2 or 3 months or less, depends, they will issue you Visa Screen Certificate. That is one of the certificates you are going to present at your visa interview in the embassy. Without that certificate, they are going to deny you visa. When I went for my interview, they didn't deny me visa. They issued
Of course, they didn't.
Yeah, of course they didn't. But they issued me a document because I didn't come with Nigerian police clearance. They issued me a document saying that until they get my Nigerian police clearance, they are not going to decide on my case. Because I requested for Nigerian police clearance. It didn't get to me in Doha, and my interview date arrived. So the police clearance came in after I've gone for interview. I thought it was going to come in before the interview, but it came in after. So I didn't have to. Do not cancel your interview for anything, because before you get another date, it's wahala, because to get interview date is too much stress. Okay. So if my point is, if any of the document is missing, they are not going to issue you visa. And one of those documents is visa screen. If your visa screen is missing, they are not going to give you visa. If your police clearance is missing, no visa. If your birth certificate is missing, no visa. If you are married and your marriage certificate is missing, no visa.
But your police clearance was missing, but they gave you visa.
They didn't give me that day. They had to tell me they would decide on my case after they received my police clearance. And guess what? It took 4 months after my interview to decide on my case, just because police clearance was missing.
So when do you advise to get the police clearance then? I mean, if you're in the UK already,
police clearance expires after 6 months. All through my American journey, I processed Nigerian police clearance 3 times. Once it expires, I process another one I keep. Once it expires, I process another one I keep. That's why at the point where I went for the interview, the previous one I had just expired, and I applied
Let's
for the new
one. Because Ufumba, if you see the question that has entered,
so
it's like you have entered it today.
So once you go for your interview,
okay,
the consular officer will tell you one of the 3 things. The person will tell you, your congratulations, your visa is approved, or your visa is denied, or we need more.
We don't want the denied. We want it to be approved.
Okay, so it will be approved, or they need more information. If it's approved, congratulations, you go home. They take your passport, process the visa, put in your passport, and mail it back to you through DHL or whatever that you ask them to do it. Then once you receive your visa, that's it. You link up with your agency, start preparing to arrive in the US. When you arrive in the US, you go to your place of work. It's a new life. You have to get acquainted with the environment. Of course, get a house, start to everything. Like you move into a new country, you just have to start adjusting, start learning the people, the culture, and everything. New friends, new work environment. And when you go to work, be at your best behavior, put in all your experience. Try to show them that you are not in quote, and that's it.
So that's it. That's everything. Wow. I absolutely enjoyed this session. Like, it was so insightful. Like, you gave us so much information. Wow. It's like a lot to take in, but no, you really dissected this. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you.
I
You
hope
were
I
amazing.
did.
You were amazing. Thank you.